All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of designing my own dinosaur theme park in Lego. Today is episode 16, and today I have gotten a ton of progress done. I've gotten the seafloor done, kind of, not exactly. So I have like the base of it all done. I have the sand part kind of done. I just have to go through and detail it now, and I actually have a decent amount of plate left, which is really nice. Like I have a bunch of 2x4s left over, so that's awesome. Actually, that's really great. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. This can all be taken off. I'm not going to because it's kind of a pain to do that. But yeah, I went ahead and I finished this area. So this is looking awesome. From last time, in last week's video, you guys would have seen all of this stuff, but I finished this over here, which was great. So yeah, that's awesome. So this I'm going to have to put the pillars on, which I'll probably do next, just so I know exactly where they're going to go so that I can kind of plan my detailing and whatnot around that, and I can plan where the coral is going to go and all that stuff. But that's going to be next. I'm going to be working on the coral after I put the pillars down, and then I'm going to start putting some detailing down, which is going to be a lot of fun to do. Okay, so I added back in the pillars, and I also put these gray things in here as well, which you might be wondering, why the heck is that there? Well, basically, that's to tell me that there's going to be a large chunk of coral right there. I want these kind of like mounds kind of up against the wall here, and that's what those are kind of representing for me, just so I know not to put in tan plates there. And speaking of putting tan plates everywhere, that's what I've done. So this is what the detailing is looking like. Here's a good close-up in this section. Over here it's a little bit more sparse because I want to have a lot of coral in here, and so I decided to just kind of not put a bunch of plates in there, just to leave some space for coral. Same with over here. So you can see it's very sparse over here. But then down here, I want this to be a pretty open area for sand, and so I just kind of did a lot of detailing in here. There's not going to be as much coral in here. And now that I'm looking at all of this tan down here, I'm wondering if it would make sense to maybe add some dark tan as well, just to kind of sprinkle in some dark tan throughout it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Should I sprinkle some dark tan in here as well, just to kind of break up the monotony of all the tan everywhere? Uh, it might look a bit weird because the dark tan is this color. So is this color? Wow, the dark tan is for this island. I mean, so I don't know if that would really work or not. But let me know what you guys think. I don't know. I might try and do that a little bit. I'm not sure. I want to really get into the coral right now, so I might just start doing that over here, and then maybe I can add some dark tan later if I really want to. Haven't decided on that yet, but yeah, I'm gonna work on the coral over here next probably. Okay, so I've gotten some work done on the coral, and it's looking kind of interesting. So this is all very subject to change. If you guys don't like something, let me know. And I can easily change this. I don't even know if I like all of this, but I'll go through it and kind of talk about what I've done so far. So over here, I have this little, like, almost a kelp kind of forest or seaweed forest or whatever over here with a bunch of these seaweed pieces. Kind of experimented with putting these really close together, and it kind of looked like a nice plant, which is cool. The only thing I don't like is that I have these studs here that are black. I don't know if that piece exists in dark green. If it exists in tan, that would also be okay. So I'll have to look up that, but that's okay. Over here we got some seaweed stuff. Over here, that was an awkward way to say that, but that's fine. And of course, I'm using these to kind of hold these in because I kind of figured I would do that later. Like I figured out that I wanted to use the black studs later with the hole in them, and this, I don't know, it just kind of works having like you know, having the leaf piece attached to it. It's fine. I don't think this piece exists in dark green. If it does, it's super rare, most likely. And I don't think it does, but it would be cool if it did. And over here, I was just kind of experimenting with using some different pieces to get some interesting coral. I did this weird lime green thing. Don't know if I love this. I might get rid of that. I'm not sure. But over here, I used some heads from the swamp guys, and I used a money bag and the Green Lantern piece. It looks kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't know if it looks great just right there, but it could work in other places. But yeah, I was just kind of experimenting with different pieces to see what works. Over here I have some orange and purple stuff. Don't know if I love this thing. See, as I'm going through this, I'm like, I don't know if I like all these, because these are just kind of like my first things that I decided to do. I like this though, using the cupcake pieces. It looks really cool there. And I also put down some sharks just to kind of see how I wanted to do it. I used this long bar piece thing to get some interesting angles on these sharks. Like, look at this. This looks really cool. It's very dynamic looking. I had another shark. I just took the pieces from under him because I was actually using it for something else, and I won't talk more about that. But yeah, over here I have some sharks going down. I decided to put this little thing over here. Looks kind of cool. The reason the boga's head is chilling there is because I was experimenting with it. I wanted to see if I could use this for coral, and I think maybe I can. I just have to figure out a way to kind of disguise part of his head and everything, which might be difficult, but I could probably do something with these clips here. I could do some kind of contraption to hide this. I don't know. I was just thinking like maybe this could work because this stuff looks really cool and it definitely looks like coral. So I don't know. I could do something with that. Not sure. That's why his head is right there. Then we have this shark over here with this little kind of patch of coral. And also where these things are very subject to change as well. They can easily be moved. So now over here I have some more stuff. I have this same kind of patch that's similar to that one over there. And then I have these weird pieces. These are actually from Hidden Side. And I remember when I first got these, I was like, hey, these would be awesome for coral. And that's exactly what I'm doing. It just looks really wild and weird. And I have some other translucent pieces and whatnot. I might be ordering some glow-in-the-dark pieces soon as well. So I'll be putting these in here as well. And this weird bush thing, I don't love it. Probably just going to get rid of this. I was just experimenting with some kind of weird fern-looking thing underwater. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't love that. I'm probably going to change that for something else. And also, this is a problem. Having it, up against the wall doesn't really work too well. So, that will probably change. Oh, yeah, and then this over here, I completely forgot about this. I have no, they're not trolls. Yeah, they are trolls. What's her name? Anna Kendrick's character in the Trolls movie. Is it Polly or something? No, Poppy. Yeah. See, I've seen that movie. I knew I would know her name. Anyways, I have her head over here, kind of stacked up to look like some weird coral thing. Don't know if I like it, but I was just kind of playing around with it. Again, I'm just kind of testing out all these different pieces and whatnot. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that, and let me know what you think of all of these coral things. I also haven't done any dark tan yet because I don't know if I want that because I don't know, it'll be kind of covered up with the coral, not all the way through, but yeah, I don't know. Again, let me know what you guys think about the dark tan. But yeah, I'll maybe experiment with it a little bit. I'm not sure. I might experiment it with it up there first, although I don't love that the rock stuff is also dark tan, but I don't know. Anyways, this is what I've done for the coral so far. Probably going to keep working on it, or I might work on some other bits as well in the mock. I haven't really decided. I'll probably just keep going with this. I will come back whenever I have progress done on anything, whether it's this or maybe that, the island. Not sure, but yeah, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so as you guys can see, I decided to work on some stuff that was not coral related. So I have this thing over here, and this thing is the reason why this video is coming out late, because, oh my god. So let me just explain what this is supposed to be first. So originally I wanted to have like a glass kind of sphere in the middle here where I had jellyfish or whatever floating around, swimming around, but I just couldn't think of anything that really worked without ordering a whole bunch of trans pieces, which I'm probably going to have to get anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't liking any kind of design I came up with. So instead I was like, what if I had like this globe in the middle here, and it was sort of like a console thing that you can kind of like press buttons and whatever and see things that pop up on the globe. I don't know, something like that. And then I was designing this, building this, and it's just it looks really dumb. I don't like this design at all. It just looks weird, especially the like this stuff here. I don't know, it looks like a spaceship that's trying to take off, and it just looks really odd. And then like this whole thing just looks weird. It would be tiled and everything, but I don't know, it just doesn't look great. And then I also just realized that it's too tall, so I'd have to sort of cut that down a little bit. But Yeah, I don't like this at all, so I'm probably just gonna get rid of this. And this is the reason why the video is coming out delayed, because I just had such a like self-doubt moment when I was making this thing. I was like, wow, this thing sucks. And then it leads to I suck, and you know that whole it just kind of spirals out of control. So then I just didn't really want to work on this anymore. But then last night I did work on some other stuff to try and make myself feel better about myself. I have this wall over here is completely done. So I talked about this before. I wanted to have the medium nougat in here, but it just didn't really make sense to do that because no one's ever really going to look at this, and it just doesn't make sense to order more bricks for something that people aren't really going to see. So I decided to just go ahead and build up the brown here and the green. So we have this section of the wall done, which is really great. I'm happy about that. And then over here I did the same thing, except it's slightly different. So this is all just 1x bricks. So as you can see, it's just completely flat. And this is because this is going to have to be attached to the other side, kind of like this, right? It's going to be exactly like that, except it's just thinner. And I actually realized I need to redo this because it just kind of, it doesn't line up with this because this is 1 brick thicker than that. So it just looks really odd. So I'm going to have to do that. And you'll notice that I actually did use medium nougat pieces here because I figured it would look really odd if it wasn't here, because it is right here, right? Over there it doesn't matter because, you know, there's nothing connected to that, so it can be whatever it needs to be, but it can be whatever color it needs to be. But here it has to be nougat because this line has to continue on. So what I did is I have a whole bunch of masonry brick in this color, and I just used the other side of it. So as you can see, this is the real brick side, and then this side is using the other side, so it's really hard to tell that they're even, like, it even is a masonry brick. So I think it works out fine. I think it looks cool, and yeah, that's what this is looking like. I left these open because I need Technic pins here, or Technic bricks here, but I actually decided I'm not going to do that anymore because I don't like how there's these Technic holes that you can see here. Like if we go over here, you can see that there's these holes on the side over here, and I don't really like that. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rebuild this anyways, because I misjudged how long this needed to be and I didn't put it far enough, so I have to rebuild it anyways. But I want to use a different technique where I have these sort of like interlocking sort of tiles and plates and whatever. I've seen a technique like that before, and I'm going to look that up and figure that out, and then use that instead so that it's just smoother and you don't see these Technic holes. And Technic pins are a pain to push in anyways, so it would just be easier to do it like that. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode. I didn't work anymore on the coral because I just didn't want to rush through it. I want to really like take my time and make sure that I have the coral exactly how I want it to look before I keep moving on. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer process doing the coral, just so I get it really right. And then this, I'm probably just going to take this apart and just have the floor go all the way through without any kind of gap. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.